Hello everyone, Dr. Smith, physical therapist here. Today I'm going to be discussing six-figure pay packages in physical therapy. Before I get into that, take a look at my first six-figure pay package that I was given a few months after graduating PT school. And yes, this was pre-PDGM, but I actually make more than that now working less post-PDGM. So the easiest way to make six figures in home health is obviously to take my course. I'll post a link below. Message me for a 40% off code. But we'll talk about the other settings in physical therapy and how you can make six figures in these other settings, even if that means combining workload and doing more, stepping out of your comfort zone. Before I get into that, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button below, comment as the video moves along, and share this video if you feel like it. I really don't care, but I appreciate it. So I do have this owl hat on today just to get a better mic set up here. And also, once you make $100,000, as you guys know, you're allowed to wear an owl hat. No, but in all seriousness, we'll get right into it. So one of the reasons why it's much harder for PTs to make six figures outside of home health and SNF is because the hours just aren't there. When you look at physicians and attorneys and those with average six-figure pay, you see that they work 60 to 80 hours a week because they're on call, they're working all the time. Well, PTs mostly work 9 to 5 with an hour lunch. And if you think that it's going to be easy for you to make $100,000 working that way, you're sadly mistaken. Even in home health, I tell people, you're going to have productivity expectations. You're going to have documentation expectations. And yes, you can automate systems. Use my note templates and make that process easier so you only work like 30 hours a week instead of 40 and get paid that $100,000. But if you don't put these automated systems in place, you're going to be working harder. And I want you working smarter, not harder. So we know home health, you can actually just work 9 to 5, make $100,000, put systems in place, and live pretty comfortably. What about for SNF? Well, for SNF, usually you can get $50 or more on average per hour. And again, you're looking at 80 to 100,000 plus per year, depending on where you are and how your pay rate works down. What about acute care? Acute care is much harder unless you go PRN and you get a $44 plus PRN rate, pick up some overtime, so you can do that there. What about outpatient? Outpatient is a lot harder unless you do cash pay or become a practice owner or manager, but it's still possible. What about pediatrics? If you can get that rate high enough, then yes, you can. I've seen it happen. So when we look at these settings, you realize that it's much harder to stay in one setting outside of SNF and home health to make as much money just because of the hours. So what do you want to do? Well, right now, I work 3 to 5 days a week PRN. I make around $115,000 PRN home health. I also do telehealth on the side, and I have my online course and my online personal training. So I'm probably taking home right now between 150 to 180 because I created these other systems and these other programs. So even though I'm already at six figures with the home health job and not even working that much, I'm making more so I can live more comfortably and just do other things that I want to do, like take a vacation, pay down debt, do other things. So what should you do? Yourself out and work 24/7? No. But maybe you should look at different PRN options. This depends on if you need benefits or not, but usually what you can do, even if you need one main job, is you can pick up some PRN home health. You can pick up PRN acute care. You can pick up PRN telehealth. And when you combine these, it becomes very easy to make six figures. If you think that you're just going to sit 9 to 5 and because you have a DPT, someone's going to pay you six figures, you are sadly mistaken, and you need to realize that that's the reality of this profession currently. In the future, will pay be six figures on average? I don't know, maybe, probably just due to the cost of inflation. But right now, when we're seeing $65,000 an outpatient, you're going to have to hustle and grind to ever reach that level in outpatient unless you do something else, whether that's start a side hustle, work PRN. And I'm not just telling you to have a main job and then a second job. What I'm telling you to do is look at what you want to do, get paid as high as possible first, so then you can create other systems to then do other things. I always tell everybody who's ever taken any one of my courses or just talked to me on job offers, regardless of setting, I want you to get paid as high as possible so you can save that money to have capital to invest in what you want to do, no matter what that is. And by doing that, you create happiness, you create financial security, and you realize that if you stay somewhere for 10 years, you're not going to get that much of a pay increase, if a pay increase at all. So what's the point of slaving away for 10 years, even in a nonprofit, when you could make bigger moves and do things that make you a bit uncomfortable? But you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. When I got my first $100,000 offer, I walked away from a very shitty job. I had no safety net, and I just believed that I could make things better, and I did. And that's one thing I'm going to drive home today, is that if you don't believe that you can make $100,000 as a PT, then you won't. You need to believe it first. And that might sound stupid and cliche, but if you do not believe it then it's not going to come true for you. And that's just the reality of that situation. Also, if you keep talking about opening up a cash pay practice, but you're not actually taking the steps to implement it, then stop talking until you actually do it. I'm a big believer that actions speak louder than words. And if you want to do something, you need to go after it, you need to pursue it. And I'd rather have you fail forward, become uncomfortable. As I said earlier, get comfortable being uncomfortable and fail forward and learn from your mistakes. So that way, you know, if the opportunity comes again, to take the correct opportunity or at least do it better. Now, when it comes to finances and any decision, whether it's pay, starting a business, anything like that, what I tell everybody is don't just talk to me about it. Talk to your family and who's involved in these decisions. If you have a kid, if you have a wife, a girlfriend, significant other, make sure you include them, because if you are not including somebody that's supposed to be with you as a team and part of finances, well, your relationship's probably going to fall apart, number one. But more importantly, it's just not going to be good for anybody if people don't understand finance and what's going on. And when you understand finance and you talk openly about it, you can discuss things and work out problems that you may have not thought of yourself. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, yes, you can make six figures as just a staff home health PT, a staff sniff PT very easily, especially if you take my course for home health. But for these other things, you have to realize you're going to have to put in the extra work. But by putting in the extra work now, learning things now, you'll be able to get there. I highly recommend, if you want to stay an outpatient, to go cash pay or open up your own practice. Travel, you obviously can make a lot of money when that market comes back, if it does come back. But right now, currently, you're going to have to put in the work and you're going to have to hustle and you're going to have to grind for a few years. But then it's going to be worth it when you realize that you invested properly and certain things paid off in the long run. So remember, don't expect stuff to just be handed to you because you have a doctorate. That is one way that you will burn out quickly and regret all of your decisions. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Smith, physical therapist. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.